I have a question. Why don't Indian nurses get jobs in the US? Is there any other way to get into the US? So I think for an Indian-born nurse, Mike, is the question.
Yeah, so the reason why is because there's such a really long line of Indian nationals seeking to immigrate to the U.S. So the priority date line is back multiple years. I think Tanya put up the visa bulletin earlier on the show, and I was just looking. India, the EB3 category is April 2012 is where the line is. You had to be in line before April 2012. And that line does not, you can't go, well, today it's 2022, therefore it's only 10 years in line. 10 years in line is too long to wait for a hospital to say, we're going to sponsor this worker and they'll be here in 10 years. And the reality is, it's not 10 years. That is likely to be significantly longer. The reason why there's such a long line is because of all the IT workers and engineers who come from India who are here on visa statuses and then get in line. And they're obviously disturbed by the fact that they're in a big long line. And it has a lot of terrible unintended consequences for children and things like that. But they know they can stay and work legally while they're in that 10 or 15 year long line. So the reality is simply that the way the visas are allocated and split by country, there's a limitation on each country, creates a line. And the India line, other than a very short period of time, back in, I don't know, Chris would know for sure, 2004, 5, 6, somewhere in that, where we had a special category for RNs. But other than that, there's been a line. It is unlikely that's going to change unless some of the legislation that Chris talked about earlier that would exempt healthcare workers from going through all the same rules as everyone else. And if that happened, then it would open it up to India again.
Okay,
but
thank
right
you.
now, it's not.
Thank you, Mike, for giving that update. And we certainly hope that there will be some legislation change specifically for Indian nurses, because I know there are a lot of Indian-born nurses who want to come to the United States, and it's very frustrating to have this roadblock.